Hello, this is Rex from Rex Recites. This poem was written in 1888 by Ernest Thayer in the days when baseball was truly the national pastime. It's called Casey at the Bat, and it goes like this. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2 with but an inning left to play. And when Cooney died at first, and Barrows did the same, a deathly silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope that springs eternal in the human breast. They thought if only Casey could get a whack at that, they would bet even money with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did also Jimmy Blake. The former was a loser, and the latter was a flake. So upon that stricken multitude grim melancholy sat, for it seemed very unlikely that Casey would ever get to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the most despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had settled, they saw what had occurred. There was Jimmy safe on second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more there rose a lusty yell. It rattled in the valley, it clanged on the dell. It thumped upon the mountain, it recoiled upon the flat. For Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing and a smile on Casey's face. And when, responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat, there was no stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded as he wiped them on his shirt. And while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance gleamed in Casey's eye, a sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered spear came hurtling through the air, but Casey disregarded it in haughty grandeur there. Past the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there rose a muffled roar, like the beating of the storms on a stark and distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire! Shouted someone in the stand. And it's likely that they would have, had not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the spheroid flew. But Casey still ignored it, and the umpire said, strike two! Fraud! Cried the maddened thousands, and the echo answered fraud. But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold, they saw his muscles strain, and they knew that Casey would not let that ball go by again. The sneer is gone from Casey's lip, his teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go. and now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Ah, somewhere in this favored land, the sun is shining bright. A band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. Somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Those of you who are real baseball fans will probably enjoy this poem more than those who are only superficially acquainted with it. Nevertheless, it's an American sports classic. Casey at the bat. This is Rex Recites. Thank you for listening, and if you haven't subscribed, please so below. Goodbye.